y'all doing? I'm Christopher Redman, and I'm here with the very first episode of Tell Your Story with President Prodigy from the lab. But we go around campus as students and faculty members of EIU, the past, the present, and the future. So stay tuned as we welcome our first guest, Captain of the cheer team, Ava Meyers.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good today. Again, thank you for joining the show, for being on our first episode. I Tell Your Story with President Prodigy. I kind of like to jump right into it, get to know you about your past. Tell us where you grew up, high school you were, what high school you went to, and how was it?
Okay, I'm from St. Joseph, Illinois, so it's a small town by Champaign. It's about an hour away from here. I went to St. Joseph Ogden High School. It was total population of 400 students, so it was pretty small, and that was combined with the town over Ogden because they had each graduating class was like 15 people, so they just went over to ours since they were like 15 minutes away. See, I mainly cheered in high school. I did other things like student council and whatnot in middle school, but that's just because they did fun things, so I just want to join. But yeah, I started cheering when I was 5.
Wow.
So that's pretty much all I really did there. I did track, but I wasn't good. That was just for my off season. Like my brother was fast and I wasn't, so I just did it for fun.
So where did motivation come from, like, for you to cheer?
I didn't want to, actually. My parents did this thing with my brother and I where they made us try at least every sport once. And I got to the option of soccer and cheer. And I was like, well, I definitely don't want to do soccer, so I'll try out cheer. I was so nervous. Like that first day, my hand, it was like itchy. I was 5 years old, just freaking out seeing all these people. But yeah. I had a lot of fun whenever I did it, and they competed. So that was really cool for me to do like that young, but it was only one competition a year. So yeah, after that first year, I just never stopped doing it. And then since I picked my sport, they didn't make me really do anything else except they did force track on the off season until I was like in high school. Then I got the option to not. So in middle school, I had to do track, and then high school, I finally quit after COVID because people kept comparing me to my brother, and I just.
Was it cheer team or soccer?
No, for track.
Okay.
Like when I was on the track team, because I did 100, 200, and usually you're fast if you do those, because I couldn't run distance, so I wasn't going to go run an 800 real quick, but my brother also did those, and he was really fast. So they're like, oh, you're Aiden's sister. You're fast. I'm like, no,
they think it's in the genetics.
He did like the sports training and all that to like get his speed up. I didn't, because I didn't care to. I did it so that I stayed in shape for comp season. Like I didn't do it for track. I did it for the social. Like.
No, I feel like they tried to. My brother played football. He was a running back on the football team throughout our whole high school life, and me kind of like football players. So they're like, oh yeah, we good for like next. Nah, bro, I'm a rapper. But that's exactly where it came from. Okay. So tell us a little more about high school. Like outside of cheering, like what did you get involved in? You know, what led to you coming to EIU?
EIU, I came here because my brother came here. My brother was going here because I was a freshman when he was a senior in high school. So he was here. We didn't talk until my sophomore year, where he had a year under his belt here, and he was dating this girl at the time, and she was really close with her brother, and he went over and visited her. And he came back and was telling my mom about how he feels like he didn't do the brotherly duties and whatnot of me growing up. He just felt like he wasn't really there, which is valid. I mean, neither of us wanted anything to do with each other. Like, we would be in a car, he would drive me to school, we wouldn't talk. Like, because he had stuff to hide, I had stuff to hide from him. Like, we didn't know if we were going to tell our parents, so we just didn't talk at all. Like, there's nothing to hide if I don't know anything, so. We just didn't really talk, and then one day he texted me and was like, hey, if you ever want to come and stay here, because he had a house with 3 girls, but that's besides the point. They were friends. It was the track team. It was the track team. But,
yeah, I know.
They were all friends, so. He told me I could come and stay there whenever I wanted to, and I was like, that's a weird text to receive because you don't even talk to me. You don't answer my Snapchats if I send you one, so I was like, okay. And then I went there, partied with them a few times, like as a junior in high school. I felt so cool. And then he just started talking to me more because he started like slowly telling me things that he was doing throughout high school that I just had no idea, and I was surprised, and so I started slowly telling him stuff, and then we just hit the point where we're actually close now, and I got so used to coming here that even though the other schools were great, it was such a comfort here. Like, anytime that I visited, I already had friends.
You at EIU now, did my research. You major in public relations, minor in HR. You're a junior now. How life at EIU been treating you so far?
There's been some ups and downs, for sure, but I feel like overall it's been a really good experience. I really do enjoy being here just because of the comfort. Because with me being in a sorority and with me being in cheer, like, I'm everywhere at all times. Like, my schedule's very hour to hour. I'll have a few hours, like, total in between classes. I'll have, like, an hour here, an hour there, but then I'll have, like, 20 minutes once my classes get done at 4:15 before cheer, and then after cheer I have something for the sorority because it's homecoming week.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty involved, but it's good for me to be involved. I work better as a busy person. Like, I get very lazy if I have time. So when I am hour to hour, it lets me actually get my stuff done. I know that's weird, but like, I feel more anxiety about it because of the amount of time that I know that I have, because I know I don't have much.
So, which game do you like the most? Like, you like going to the football or basketball?
I like basketball.
Why basketball?
It's a loaded question, but I just prefer watching basketball, and I feel like I can actually see what's going on. Football, they're huge. Yeah. I can't. The team can't see over the football players, and I feel like we get more respect from the basketball team. We get yelled at on the sidelines. Like, if we go in certain spots, like, we can't cross the blue section of the sidelines that they're on. If we cross there, we'll get yelled at. It happened last year. Super embarrassing. It was awful, but I feel like we just can't really see anything that's going on. We can't see over the team, and we don't have enough time to watch the game because we're constantly turning around to the crowd, like,
cheering and stuff.
So for basketball, we're automatically facing it, so we can actually see, and we have to pay attention to be able to call offense, defense cheers. For football, like, it's not switching as quick like that, so you don't necessarily have to pay attention as much. And no one sat down and been like, oh, this is what this means in football. I mean, nobody has for basketball either, but I've been forced to learn it because of cheer. And I just feel like you don't have to rely on the weather for basketball. Like, I mean, yeah, the gym can get really hot depending on how many people are in there, especially in the uniforms, but I mean, that's a lot better than rain. Like, this past game, are you kidding me? That was awful. Cold, rain, super windy, like, those games suck, and when it rains, you can't stunt. You can't perform the routine because it's illegal, NCAA rules, for us to stunt on wet ground or for us to tumble on wet ground because it's a safety precaution. So for basketball, we can't do baskets unless we have a little mat, but we don't need to. That we can still do everything else. But yeah, I just, all around, I feel like it's a better vibe going into a basketball game.
I always wanted to know, like, do y'all get scholarships, like, to come play cheer?
Not here, because we're not considered. So NCAA considers us as a sport. The EIU does not.
Speaking of study hours, it seems like you're a leader amongst people on campus. You know what I'm saying? Being the captain of the cheer team, being part of a sorority, and you a junior, getting ready to graduate. So, like, we at the library, we got a bunch of space and areas, and I'm pretty sure y'all come here and study sometimes. Like, what space you think in the library, correlates y'all the best? Like, y'all feel more comfortable with?
I don't know about the rest of the team because I feel like when I come here, I usually come here with Emily, my hometown friend that's also one of the other captains. I've come in here a few times.
West reading room?
Yeah, but I haven't actually swiped in because, again, we don't swipe in right now, so we just kind of come and sit, and then we there's this app called, I think it's Jibble, and it, like, takes a photo of us and, like, sends in the time. It's like if you were to clock in, so we have to clock in for study hours, and then Coach just sees it. So I either go in that room or I'll go kind of by the fishbowl where it's like the study rooms. I go in there too because it's quiet.
Okay. That's pretty decent. Okay. So, you about to graduate, you about to get up out of here. Tell us a little about the future, where you see yourself in 5 years,
Well, I'm thinking about not doing anything with PR. PR is just kind of like something to fall back on, and it teaches me about interpersonal communication, just how to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's easy to do that, but learning those techniques helps you with a lot of different jobs. And PR, you can go into literally anything. But I'm minoring in HR, so I plan on going into HR.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in my core HR classes now. So I'm trying to talk to the HR department here to hopefully get a student job for next semester so I can start getting experience in there so that this summer I can apply for an internship. Well, now I will apply for an internship, but hopefully for the summer. So I'm hoping to do that and then finish out my last semester here because I graduate early. So when I graduate in December, I would hopefully apply for a job so that I could have the next step to get the job. And then hopefully get the job there and start my master's program and then be well set. That's best case scenario. I have no idea if it's going to go that way, but
I mean, we hopefully, you know.
yeah, we're putting in the work now to hopefully get there.
So to wrap things up, you know, we talked for a while. Leave us with a quote, you know. Give some advice.
I would say that when somebody tells you something specific, to listen to them if they've already been here. Especially if there's a lot of information given, don't fall into the, well, I need to learn it myself, because that can end very badly. Mm-hmm. Especially if someone is being very serious about something that they're saying. Listen to the people that are here and have the experience, and trust them before you trust yourself, because you're probably not right.
There we go. Appreciate you for the having a sit down interview. You know, once again, this is Ava Meyers, captain of the cheer team. You know, fake claps.
Appreciate y'all for watching the first episode of Tell Your Story with President Prodigy. Stay tuned and be on the lookout for our next guest.